Wonder Woman, the Princess of Power. Easily the most powerful female superhero in the DC universe, Wonder Woman combines the abilities of the ancient gods with the insight of a complex modern woman. From her origins on Paradise Island, through death and resurrection, to her current position as an agent for the Department of Meta-Human Affairs in America, Wonder Woman's story rivals the greatest of myths, giving her a place in the pantheon of humanity's heroes. Many years ago, a young American test pilot named Diana Trevor crash-landed on Themyscira, the remote island home of the warrior women known as the Amazons. Sometime later, when a monster called Kotus threatened the island, Diana used what was left of her plane's weapons to protect her new friends, ultimately sacrificing her own life to save them. Hippolyta, the queen of the Amazons, never forgot Diana's sacrifice, remembering her name forever. Hippolyta herself longed for a daughter of her own, and, following Amazon tradition, fashioned the form of a baby girl out of clay. Endowed with powers from the gods, granted through Hippolyta's prayers, the statue came to life as an infant child. Overjoyed, Hippolyta named her Diana, after the heroic human who had saved Themyscira years before. Hippolyta oversaw the teaching and raising of her daughter, helped by her many Amazonian sisters. All wanted to be involved in the upbringing of the first child ever born on Themyscira. They taught the young Diana not only their cultural ways, but also the secrets of Amazon combat. Though overly protective of her daughter at times, Hippolyta wanted Diana to be prepared to face the world around her with the strength and grace that were trademarks of the Amazons. Ares, the Greek god of war, was a constant thorn in the Amazon's side. He regularly tried to conquer humanity and attempted other acts of aggression against the race of women. On one particular occasion, he declared that he and his children planned to annihilate humankind as punishment for its lack of respect for the Greek gods. To protect and defend the humans, Hippolyta called for a new champion to come forth. This champion would stand as the primary line of defense against Ares and his children, and wear a uniform inspired by the late Diana Trevor's aircraft markings. Wanting to protect her daughter from harm, Hippolyta forbade the young Diana from entering the contest. Undaunted, Diana entered in disguise and won the contest with ease, becoming the Amazons' champion. Forced to accept her daughter's decision, Hippolyta presented her with silver bracelets and the golden lasso of truth for her protection. With her prized possessions in hand, Diana became Wonder Woman, champion of the Amazons. She saved humanity from destruction by the family of the god of war, by defeating Ares' children and stopping Ares himself from launching a full-scale nuclear attack on Earth. However, her mission was just beginning. She travelled around the world, spreading peace and tackling evil wherever she encountered it. It was a strange introduction into what the Amazons had called man's world. She lived in Boston at first, with the Patelis family, who taught her English and became her good friends. In the early days of her mission, Diana also met and befriended a woman named Helena Sandsmark, an archaeologist who was the director of the Gateway City Museum of Cultural Antiquities. Helena set up a Wonder Woman display at the museum, which inspired her daughter Cassie to become Wonder Girl, a superhero cast in the image of Wonder Woman. Little did either Cassie or Diana know that Helena had once had an affair with Zeus, the father of the gods, and thereby created Cassie, who had the same powers as Wonder Woman. During those early years, Wonder Woman found that she had made many enemies, including Cheetah, Silver Swan, Dr. Psycho, Giganta, and the sorceress Circe. Among Wonder Woman's numerous foes was Neron, a demon from the underworld who unleashed a plague of supervillainy on humanity by granting powers to some of the world's most vile individuals in exchange for their souls. Neron knew that although Wonder Woman's powers had been a gift from the gods, she had a small weakness. Her powers were not entirely her own. A wicked sorceress, Magala, had cast a spell on Wonder Woman some time earlier, dividing the Amazon princess's abilities between her and a woman named Artemis. Armed with this knowledge, Neron blasted Diana with a burst of energy, almost killing her. She was taken from the underworld, where she had gone to confront Neron, to a hospital where Superman, the Martian Manhunter, and other heroes tried unsuccessfully to use their powers to restore her life. The final blow came as a maniacal scientist named Dr. Doris Zool tried to transfer her own soul into Wonder Woman's dying body. Zool failed, though she would someday become the villainess Giganta through a similar procedure, and Diana died. Hippolyta was devastated. Just as she'd prayed years earlier to bring her daughter to life, the Amazon Queen beseeched the gods once again to grant life to her beloved Diana. The answer came from the goddess Hera, who used golden fire to transform Diana's dead body into that of a goddess. Diana became the goddess of truth, and was granted a place on Mount Olympus with other gods. So grateful was she that her daughter was reborn, Hippolyta took up the mantle of Wonder Woman while Diana sat on her throne on Olympus. But soon Diana felt out of place among the gods, and returned to Earth and the mortal plane, seeking to resume her mission as Wonder Woman. Hippolyta, as the other Wonder Woman, travelled back and forth through time and had many adventures. On her return, she was not ready to give up her position as Wonder Woman, despite Diana's resurrection and descent from Olympus to man's world. The decision brought about a rift in the relationship between mother and daughter. Both served as Wonder Woman, with Diana a member of the Justice League of America, and Hippolyta in the group of older superheroes, known as the Justice Society of America. Both the Justice League and the Justice Society were called upon to help combat the galactic threat posed by the futuristic monster Imperiex. Clad in traditional Amazonian armor, both Diana and Hippolyta raced towards outer space, where they joined their heroic comrades in the war against Imperiex and his minions. Diana was gravely injured. Superman asked Hippolyta to save her daughter. Hippolyta agreed and helped to mend Diana's wounds, but was unable to save herself. She sacrificed her life to protect Earth from the destructive Imperiex probes. Diana and the Amazons were devastated at the loss of their queen, who Diana buried in a crypt beneath a temple that Amazons built as a memorial to their fallen leader. Diana and Hippolyta shared a brief goodbye when Hippolyta's soul appeared in the temple before accompanying Hades, the god of the underworld, to his realm. Hippolyta was not the only casualty in the war against Imperiex. The Amazons' home of Themyscira, better known as Paradise Island, was also destroyed. It had previously suffered great damage because of a civil war the island endured during the absences of Hippolyta and Diana. With the help of the Greek and Egyptian gods, a new Themyscira was created as a place for the Amazons to live. No longer a separate island, New Themyscira was a series of islands uniting the Amazons with their Bana Migdal sisters, such as Isis, Mamitu, and Neith. They were ruled by both the Greek and Egyptian gods. Prior to her death, Hippolyta had dissolved the ruling hierarchy of the original Themyscira. As such, Diana did not have a position in the new order of the island, nor did she want one. Instead, Diana left New Themyscira to act as her people's ambassador to the entire universe. She represented the Amazons' peaceful ideals and sought treaties with governments, not only on Earth, but on other planets as well. Through these experiences, Diana also wrote a book in which she described her experiences and observations among the Amazons. Entitled Reflections, the book helped spread Wonder Woman's fame throughout the world and beyond. Many of her Amazonian sisters took issue with Diana's interpretation of Amazon history, but few did anything about it. Throughout the years, Wonder Woman took time to train the rising generation of female heroines. From her former protégée Donna Troy, who was also once Wonder Girl, to the current Wonder Girl, Cassie Sandsmark, and even Supergirl, Diana has taught many young women the skills necessary to fight for truth and justice in the modern world. With her book garnering worldwide attention, and with a reputation for being a noble, powerful role model, Wonder Woman had reached the pinnacle of popularity and influence on the world stage. Humanity had come to trust her as a hero who would watch out for and protect them. She had, after all, defeated enemies like Cheetah, Dr. Psycho, Giganta, Ares, Circe, and the rest countless times. She seemed, in the public eye, to embody all that was good about meta-humans. It was because of this impressive reputation that Wonder Woman's fall from grace was so tragic. As the superhero world found itself spiraling into chaos thanks to villains from a parallel universe, a war in space, and a satellite system Batman had created gone rogue, heroes such as Superman and Wonder Woman were in high demand. Unfortunately, Superman's mind had been hijacked by a former ally of the Justice League's, Maxwell Lord. Lord used his control over Superman to attack Batman and several others. Due to the hallucinations in his head, Superman nearly beat Batman to death. Wonder Woman learned that the only way to stop Superman from killing their friend was to kill Maxwell Lord. In a grisly confrontation, Wonder Woman broke Maxwell Lord's neck, and freeing Superman from the mind control, but also earning her the ire of her colleagues. To make matters worse, the aforementioned rogue satellite broadcast images around the world of Wonder Woman committing murder. The news caused rifts between superheroes who felt they should never kill and those that didn't. Worse, it broke the trust humanity had in heroes. The Justice League of America disbanded because of the public reaction to Diana's actions and the resulting crisis that ensued. It was a very unsettling period for Diana, who gave up the role of Wonder Woman, feeling unworthy after losing humanity's respect. Without her responsibilities as Wonder Woman, Diana took on a new mission. This time she would try to fit in as a regular mortal woman. She created a Clark Kent-inspired secret identity, glasses and all, as Diana Prince, a special agent for the America's government, the Department of Meta-Human Affairs. She would track down the movements and activities of several of her friends, coordinating with government officials on the appropriate actions to take to protect humanity from the meta-humans. Meanwhile, Diana's close friend and former protégée, Donna Troy, filled in as Wonder Woman. Donna took on the mantle for over a year before Diana returned. Donna then gave up the role, allowing Diana to resume her mission as the Amazon ambassador. The governments of the world had cleared Wonder Woman of her involvement in the murder of Maxwell Lord, but many people still distrusted her. The world's distrust of Wonder Woman was only magnified when the Amazons, led by an apparently resurrected Hippolyta and the evil sorceress Circe, attacked Washington, D.C. Wonder Woman and Wonder Girl fought their Amazon sisters, and Wonder Woman confronted her mother. It was revealed that the Amazons had attacked while underneath the influence of Circe's spell. Once free of the spell, Hippolyta was exiled to New Themyscira. With wars, disrepute, and mother-daughter conflicts behind her, Diana secretly met with Superman and Batman in the Batcave. Having forgiven her for killing Lord, and to thank her for saving both their lives, Superman and Batman invited their friend and ally to help them create the new Justice League of America. Diana was partly responsible for putting together the newest version of the superhero team, joining the League herself. Unbeknownst to Diana, the Greek gods, who had always given her the powers, had been captured and impersonated by Granny Goodness, one of the minions of the galactic tyrant Darkseid. It was Granny Goodness who had inspired the Amazonian attack on Washington. Though not presently permitted to visit New Themyscira, Wonder Woman maintains a watchful eye on the enemies of truth, and she will be ready for whatever Granny Goodness and Darkseid have in store. She still stands as the champion of truth she was crowned years ago. With powers from the gods and a lifetime of experience, Wonder Woman is a legend among superheroes, and will remain so forever. Wonder Woman, the Princess of Power.